All right, congratulations, guys. This is the first episode of Modern Slackers, where we teach entrepreneurs the 5 modern pillars of success. Today, we are going straight to the pillar number 5, which is dating and relationships, with my good buddy Jaren, who is also a channel member of MENshrine. I want to go ahead and have you introduce yourself, and then I'll ask you some questions, and we'll bring in Dylan.
Hey guys, yep. As John mentioned, I am a member of Modern Slackers. We each cover different verticals or different pillars within the Modern Slackers space. I am one of the gentlemen who covers the dating topics more specifically, and you'll see in this show, as per the title, it is online dating apps, or more specifically, Tinder. I cover a lot of different things on my channel too: fitness, freedom, minimalist mindset, some finances, living within your means, all that good stuff. But I figured since we're new, we're up and coming. A lot of people, most people that reach out to me, actually, it is on the topic of dating.
Perfect.
Never before would I have considered myself an expert, but other people consider me an expert, and I can now safely say I am, in the sense that I'm very happy with the way in which my dating life has turned out, and that was very deliberate. My background, I'm a marketing and sales person. I get involved with early stage startup companies, usually in the single digit millions, and I can scale them to couple tens of millions, and my last exit was $100 million. So I apply a lot of that same methodology and mindset to dating, which we will get in here briefly.
I love that. Okay, let's go ahead and add Dylan. Dylan is our crypto expert, guys. This guy, he means business. He's writing his 3rd book. We've scouted out a lot of members. We're going to co-write this book, The 5 Modern Pillars of Success. And I've talked to probably 10 different crypto guys that claim to be experts. This guy's a real deal. So, guys, please make a warm welcome for Dylan DeFi. Go ahead and make your introduction, my friend.
Hey, thanks, John. Thanks for having
Oh,
me
and
on.
his audio is so good too, man. All right, we got Jaren. We got to spend some money, man.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I need a better camera.
Yeah, we need all 3. I'm gonna throw some money at all 3 of us. Well, not you, Dylan. You got it figured out.
No, I got the setup. If you guys need any tips, I'll show you how.
Over.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily call myself an expert with crypto. I mean, it's so new. Anyone that is self-proclaimed expert, I think you gotta look out for them a little bit, just because everything in the space is evolving. But what I do is I just help people understand what is the space, why it's important, and how to get involved safely and securely, because I believe it's something that can help create generational wealth for anyone in the world, no matter what your background is, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have. There's opportunity. I mean, the way I see it is the market's 2 to 2.5 trillion right now, and going to 100 trillion plus. And so the more you can understand about that, there's tons of opportunities to be had, and tons of money to be made when that large amount of money is moving around in the space. So that's what I do. I help people learn about the space, and then I also help people build businesses in the space to help others.
That's a damn good introduction, if you ask me. So
Yeah,
we're going to be using Dylan for all of our investing topics. I know me and him will have a lot to go back and forth. I do not invest into crypto. I lost 250,000 last year, and so I'm more traditional when it comes to investing. So when we get on that topic, I'm going to have a lot of back and forth banter with him. That's going to be great for the viewers. So let's get back on the dating topic. So I want to go ahead. This is kind of the structure of the show, right? You know who we are now. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask Jaren some questions, basically around what mistakes guys have, they make during Tinder. And then I'm even going to show my own Tinder profile mistakes, where Jaren and Dylan, you both can roast the hell out of me in free range, and it's going to be embarrassing. But guys, I have made my money. I've had 3 startup exits in the pet space. So when it comes to online dating, I missed the curve. I was too busy building my business. Now I'm kind of just getting my ass kicked when I match with someone. So Jaren, let's start with the first question.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
and these are unrehearsed too, by the way. So let's see what you got for me.
no, they have. I don't think they have, man. So, so basically, okay. So, what strategies do you see work the most for the most men?
Strategies. I think the main strategy is having a strategy when you go into it. I think a lot of guys go on the app and they think that girls are just going to come into their inbox, slide into their DMs, match them, message them. And you know what? I used to be in this camp too. I never realized that dating apps are essentially like any digitally mediated marketing channel, and you have to have a goal going into it. for me, and we'll get more into this, and I'll have a Tinder course and a private group coming up here really shortly. I'll announce that around Christmas time or so. But we'll get really into the specifics and like the tactical side of how to set up a Tinder account, how to go about it. And really, like I said in the introduction, I treat it like a marketing and sales funnel. So first and foremost is just having a strategy. That means getting your account set up, making sure that you are aware of the photo quality, how you're going about it, and really look at the entire process of creating a digital online brand. However, the product you're selling is yourself. That's not necessarily sexual. I always make the clarification that you're selling an experience. And when girls go on these apps, they're looking for experiences.
Let me stop you there. So you said like you're setting up a brand, right? A funnel. So I'm a big fan. I've worked in sales pretty much my whole career, and sales funnels is my background. So you're saying that you're setting up your Instagram profile, your Tinder, as a lead funnel.
Exactly.
Let's talk more about that.
Tinder is top of a funnel. And for guys that don't know marketing and sales, it's essentially like, when you're on Google, you're looking for something and you're like, and you see in the sidebar, you see the feature, it says like sponsored ad. So that's like a top of the funnel activity. They're identifying that, okay, there's an intent behind what you're looking for. And people like me bid on these things. I'm using Google for an example. It's different for every marketing channel. It's kind of in the same vein. So you're top of the funnel. They're trying to get your attention. And then if you identify that there's possibly intent, like you click through, you fill out a form, you download something, then you move further down the funnel. So Tinder is top of the funnel. Tinder is just, if you remember back to like marketing 101 classes for anyone who took it, it's the, oh God, I'm living in Mexico. So it's AIDA, the AIDA model, attention, interest. Oh God, I'm forgetting it. Decision and action. So you need to get them on the first acronym of that, which is the attention. These girls don't know you exist. And you're only going to get a very little amount of time to catch their attention. So literally,
how much time are you saying? Like 30
I don't know
seconds,
exactly,
1
but
minute?
it's not 30 seconds. Although you know what? I was sitting kitty corner to a girl on the last flight from Miami back to Mexico City a couple weeks ago. And I was watching her kind of out of the corner of my eye doing her Bumble. And this girl, she would immediately swipe left, but if she was interested, then she'd go through and she very deliberately read the profile. However, I think it depends because she was a little older. She's probably my age, like mid-30s, maybe even older, but really good shape, real cute girl. I've also seen younger girls where they just kind of go through like yay, nay, yay, nay. So it really depends on the girl.
That's the problem I face with Tinder is that in person, you can't swipe left. Right. So when I'm on Tinder,
like, get out of here and just fucking move her away.
Yeah. Could you imagine just swiping?
My bad,
your
on YouTube.
finger?
Yeah, no,
it's all right. I mean, this is the first episode. We're going to have no viewers. So, I would imagine swiping someone across the face, right? That's what it is. So I feel like, and people are going to see my Tinder profile and how I have it set up now. It's pretty terrible and I get terrible results, but I kind of go.
It's probably common. It's probably how most guys set it up. So it's not a bad start. Yeah.
But I still get results. I'd say 1 in 20 I end up hooking up with and bringing back to the house. And I notoriously hate bringing women to the house because if there's drama, guess what? I had a woman break all the windows in this house. So that was a big problem for me. Yeah, no, I tend to
clear. That's 1 in 20 conversations, right? Because that's about what my results are too.
Yeah.
I run them in blocks. So if I have a block of 20 I'm talking to, I know usually with the high degree of, it's essentially a guarantee that one of them will come over and I will seal the deal. For 1 in 20 for conversations, not matches.
Here's the difference is like, if I talk to 5 women in person, I'll land a date probably half the time. And I think there's something about matching energy in real life that you take yourself out of the avatar sense of your profile. And I did door-to-door sales, everything I could to start my company and make it successful. So when I go to Starbucks and I see someone cute, I flirt it up, but I can't translate that to text. I suck at it, and you guys are going to see why. So are you seeing a lot of men with that same problem? Are you seeing men that could perform in the real world but are failing online?
You're actually ahead of the curve, I'd say, because most men do zero prospecting activities. Again, I'll use the marketing and sales terminology.
Sure.
Prospecting is just putting yourself out there and essentially putting out an offer. Moff and I joke all the time about the old Chris Rock bit that anytime you talk to a girl, she essentially knows in her hindbrain that you are offering up something, usually sexual favor. And he used to joke that like, oh, hey, my name's Frank, like in her head, oh, you want some dick? You want some dick? So girls already know this. Most guys don't do that.
Okay.
If you're in kind of like the manosphere, red pill, whatever you want to call it, space, they call that day gaming. So there are
Oh, I
guys
didn't
that are,
know that.
yeah,
I
there are
didn't
guys that
know
are
that.
proponents of day gaming, guys that are proponents of online gaming. I always look at it like any marketing and sales operation. You need to have a mix. For example,
Okay.
if like you've launched companies before, if you depend on one marketing channel or one sales channel, and all of a sudden something happens, like Facebook blocks your ad set, then you're done. So when you're sourcing girls or when you're prospecting,
I love what you're saying here because you're making a correlation that I can understand. Like if
exactly.
you're an
That's how I view it.
entrepreneur, right? If you have one way of marketing, you're probably going to fail. I think every one of my startups, we had 7 points of marketing, right? So 7 points of contact to our customers or the people we're trying to reach out to. And so you're saying we got to apply that same thing to the dating mentality, especially today in a modern dating world. And the reason why we're talking about dating as the modern pillar of success, I think it completes the whole, to become very happy when you die, you need to have a lot of stuff aligned, and a relationship is definitely in there. So that's why it's so great to have you here, Jaren, as an expert to be able to go over these things, because in the book that we're going to write, I want to have a large segment just about what you're talking about here. And this will be a reoccurring episode where you get to hop on and share maybe new insights that you find. But I still want to be able to get that guy, right? Me, let's just use me as an example. I do very great in person, but I can't translate that to text ever.
Well, that's the challenge a lot of guys face. So going back to the funnel analogy, and you made a good point, like in your previous company, there were 7 touch points with the customer from whatever the initial touch point was to, I'm assuming, whatever the close was or a lost opportunity. It's the same thing. So you gave the example of you're in a coffee shop, you see a cute girl, you start talking to her. Well, you're already further down the funnel because you have that face-to-face, and there's no substitute for face-to-face. I'll be the first to admit it. Now, digital, it's like, or online dating, it's like digital marketing where you want to get to the point where you're further down the funnel, you have the face-to-face meeting, but there's multiple steps before that. That's setting up the profile, that's actually doing the swiping, that's matching, that's opening the conversation, that's getting her to a number or an Instagram, and then that's getting her to arrange the meetup. So there's multiple steps involved to get her to the coffee shop, whereas when you're at a coffee shop already, you don't have to do those steps. She's already there in front of you, ideally in your frame if you're going about it right. So there's a lot of guys in the space that argue between online dating and day gaming. I'm a proponent of both. Just have a good marketing mix going. Don't spend a lot of time on it.
You've done studies on this stuff, right? I mean, you've actually done Tinder studies. So
yeah, I've done some studies with guys in Rich's group, and then a lot of it, it's just me being a dork and then just making these observations when you're just running pure volume. So one thing I always like to mention too, I've been in Mexico City for the last few months. So here, there is a major population density question. There's like, what is it, like 38 million people and like a small radius. So essentially I can pop on Tinder and I will never run out of prospects.
good for you.
I could have the worst conversion rate ever. It is an endless supply of prospects. Whereas I'll be in my hometown in 2 days. I run out in like 2 minutes. And
so
like
I live in St. George, Utah, which is a retirement home community.
Yep.
So yeah,
like
but at the gym, if I go to Vasa Fitness, like I always find the Instagram models, and which is funny because last year when I weighed 115 pounds, they would laugh me out the door. Now they talk to me and I flirt with them. And so it took a long journey to get to that point, but it still doesn't translate. I still have that fat kid syndrome or skinny kid syndrome when I'm online, when I'm online dating though. Like, it's almost like in person, I don't give a crap, but online I'm scared. Why? What's going on here? You know, like maybe it's a therapeutical question. I don't know, but the way I text these girls back is just shoot to kill, whatever, bye. Like I don't do the back and forth banter.
You go for the sniper shots. Yeah. We'll
you
see
saw
some
that.
Examples. We'll see some examples here soon.
It works at 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 100. So, I mean, it's just how much time I want to devote to it.
It's like one of those like nice shoes, want to F. Like that will work. But you're going to get slapped a few times.
You know what comes with that? Girls breaking the windows in your house. So I mean, if you get the girl that's willing to F you on the first date based off of one text, those are the girls that are going to break your windows, man. I've seen it too many times. I get too many hate calls from women these days. And I mean, I went out to Arizona and all the windows in my house were smashed from this one woman. So, and I mean, she created the red flag factory for sure. And I was like, hey, I'll just take them all with me. Let's go for it. You know, I was ready for the fight.
Let's pencil that for another episode to share some stories. It's been a while because, like I say, the reason guys call me an expert is because I've been at the point in my dating life where I date the types of girls I want to date when I want to date them, and I get the experiences that I've always wanted. And so those things, it's been a long time since I've had things like that happen. And that's just kind of an evolution in the process. And I think when it goes back to you feel or you've observed that you're not as well online as you are in real life. That's kind of how it is for most guys. You really need confidence, not saying that you lack self-esteem, but confidence in the sense that you need enough wins under your belt to where you have a methodology that's tried and true in your head, where you know going into it, like, okay, this is going to work, with almost to a high degree of certainty.
See, I'd say I was the opposite. Like in person, I'm so confident, but when it comes to Tinder dating, like it's almost like I don't value the person I'm talking to, so I just go for those kill shots because it's not real. I don't feel like
they don't value you either.
Of course not. Why would they?
You're an avatar. I always say your pixels are arranged in a very pretty way on a screen, and what you want to do is arrange those pixels in a way that gets their hindbrain going to like, oh my god, I got to meet this guy offline.
You might have said this. I think it was you that said this, that they're going to judge you off your worst photo and go with that.
Exactly. Yep. Well,
I think you said that.
I did the same thing with girls. You take their worst photo and then you add about 10% in terms of whether it be weight or degradation in looks, whatever it is, but usually expect them to look 10% worse than their worst photo.
For sure.
One thing I was going to get at too, where a lot of guys make mistakes, they'll get into like, oh, I need to have these awesome photos of this and that. And John, you're doing the right thing. You need to actually live this lifestyle that you're portraying. So for example, if you're jacked in all your photos, you need to make it a focus to be jacked when you actually meet up with these girls. I let myself, sometimes I get on the skinny side, sometimes I get a little pudgy, but I stay within a very tight range of what my body looks like. And also we were talking in the backstage before you popped on here. It also affects your mind too. When you're in good shape, your mind is crystal clear, and that definitely comes through. And girls know this. Girls have dated plenty of guys to where they know these things intuitively. They know if you look like a slob in your photos that you're going to have a crap personality. I mean, let's just be honest.
Okay, I got one more question before we go to roasting John. Dylan, do you have anything to add for?
Yeah, let's pop Dylan in here because I think he has a heart out here in a few.
Yeah. Do you have any online dating advice for these guys for maybe mistakes that you've seen?
I think one of the key things, and you guys kind of hit on it, is like you said, 1 out of 20, or it's a numbers game. I think one of the keys that I've noticed is like not get too emotional about your match, right? Just because someone matches you, like it doesn't mean anything. And to look at it very objectively, like you would do things in business, or like you would do things with crypto or whatever it is. Like come at it objectively and understand what numbers are good and what numbers are bad, and understand what numbers are good for you and understand how you can improve those. I think that'd be a key point. It'd be interesting to hear you, Jaren, talk a little bit more about that objectivity in that process.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. You can't get too emotionally invested in this because, again, this girl doesn't know who you are, and you don't know who she is. I've done articles on MENshrine too. It doesn't happen a lot to me anymore because you get an eye for these things. But there's a lot of scammers on there too. There's a lot of bots. There's a lot of professional working girls, to use the kind term, and there's a lot of time wasters on there too. There's a lot of people that they want the attention, but they have no intent on meeting up. So these are other factors you have to take into consideration.
I've seen that multiple times. It's like they I read a research study.
They get a dopamine hit.
The dopamine hit, yeah. Yep. And I totally get it because I'm starting to see that with Instagram now.
You're like, oh, this girl's hot. She's a potential, but you know you have to move her down the funnel. That it's the potential fantasy is nothing. And you learn how to not get high off those little dopamine hits because they're not wins yet.
See, my biggest wins are, successes in business, so that's how I judge wins. I don't judge it off of women. I can always plug back in Richard Cooper, women aren't the focus, they're along for the ride. I don't know how deep into the red pill I go, but like what I found out is like, I don't judge any of my success based on how many likes I get or how many women I match with, because I got so many other business opportunities going on that are just so successful. And that's my real rush. I skipped the dating phase, the 20 to 25 to build a company. So I missed out on a lot of human interactions, and a lot of entrepreneurs feel the same way. I was reading on Reddit today, there's thousands of entrepreneurs that just gave up women to start a business. Now they're ready to date with money, and they're just finding women that are taking advantage of them. So that's where content from you and MENshrine really step up to the plate to help those guys out. I want to carry them over to you.
And that's why we included this vertical or this pillar in the Modern Slackers, because I know that a lot of like business coaches, professional, entrepreneurial focused shows don't necessarily touch upon this, and a lot of guys get weird about it too. They're like, oh yeah, why would I care about women? Oh, I'm focused on this, but it adds another dimension to your life. I always say my life's a lot more colorful when I have good, high quality, fun, awesome, intimate relationships with multiple women. It just it adds another layer of color to your life, and it makes it much more enjoyable.
Okay, one more question I had for you before we get to destroying me. And then we'll get into the Reddit.
Any last words for Dylan? Because I know he's probably.
All right, Dylan, you got to go. All right, what? Any last final
plug yourself?
What was that?
I said plug yourself. We have a show with you. We have a show with you tomorrow, correct?
Yeah. We're doing something tomorrow, so I'll be talking more on crypto.
Oh, Dylan, I got you hard pointed for that show. So like, I got some tough questions, and I really just want you to go back and forth with me because I'm a traditionalist investor. I've lost a lot of money in crypto, so all that's going to shine, and I can't wait to see how you hold up to the big blows. I mean, it's going to be a boxing match. I'm being honest with you, man.
No, like I love it.
I essentially gamble, so yeah, you'll love.
That's one of the 4 areas of capital allocation in crypto. Gambling.
Well, that's why Dylan is going to be in this book, is because crypto is obviously the future. I can't deny it any longer. What did I do? I bought high, sold low. So
yeah,
like in a big way, I got emotional, and I let it really affect the way I invest this year. I do more standard investments, but Dylan is going to have a chapter of his own in this book under the investment pillar. So Dylan, go ahead and plug your website, Instagram handle, and everything that people need to get in touch with you for crypto advice.
Yeah. So just go to at Dylan M. Bradley. That's my Instagram, and that's one of the best places where I create content around it. I do daily stories and upload videos and all that, talking about what's going on in there. So just go check that out. That's the best way to find me at this point in time.
Okay. And then we'll also include links at the end of this and put, especially for tomorrow, if you have a website or anything else where people can book consultations with you.
Yeah. I have a couple out there. But it just depends on what we're talking about and what people want. So I have two separate ones.
All right, Dylan. I appreciate you hopping on, man. It's good to have a quick intro, and I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow.
All right, be safe.
Take care. Yeah, good luck with your event.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay, I have officially kicked one of the members. I always hate doing that. It's so harsh. So I'm gonna go ahead I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I'm very excited for Dylan's segments. But let's try to stay on topic for Tinder. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Ready to see how terrible I am.
Let's start the profile level, because I always say, you got to set everything up first.
Share screen. Okay. Sharing screen with the easiest 2 monitors.
Yeah, I've never seen this profile, so let's see what my initial reaction.
So can you see my screen here?
I can. Yeah, let's pull up the.
All right, so here is my profile. How are you seeing that?
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty small. Can you?
I don't know how to make it bigger.
Let me full screen this on my screen. All right. So your profile. So the first one is the shirtless.
Oh, this is looking terrible.
Okay. Yeah, that's your experience. Do you have a Mac? Can you zoom in? Do the little.
Yeah, but when I do, it's not zooming in on that photo.
Dang it.
Yeah. So let me try this.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. See if we can get to your grid somehow.
All right. There it is. So
there we go.
Yeah. All right. So complete douchebag, right? So.
Now, let me be clear about this, because I remember years ago, I A/B tested this. I was working for a financial firm in Southern California, and any of you guys who have worked in fintech, a lot of the female employers usually really cute blondes. So she and I get into a debate about whether a douchebag version of a Tinder profile works better than a normal nice guy version. I obviously knew the answer, but I'm an academic, so
I get more success with that photo.
Exactly that.
I have it set to auto select photos, and that apparently that's the winner. So
Well, it's one of those like, and like I said from the beginning, you have to define what success is. So for success is for me to get a match and a meetup, and ideally in that meetup for it to escalate to something intimate or sex very, very quickly. So when you go about this approach, like the no shirt approach, you'll get more no's. Or if you open if a girl has a match and you open her, you might get like, oh, you're a douchebag or whatever.
well,
That's fine. You want her to reject you as fast as possible, and likewise, you want to reject her as fast as possible to eliminate time wasters, to eliminate texting pals or going back and forth, or that endless loop of where you're trying to make plans and then she cancels and you never actually meet up. You don't want to waste your time on this stuff. So I've found personally that shirtless pics do work. You will attract other types, different types of girls than maybe ones that are looking for relationships. You'll get like the younger girls that want to have fun, that are looking for guys in red pill know like alpha Fs and then beta bucks.
Yep.
So you'll get girls looking for more of the alpha Fs category. I have noticed, I have had guys before ask me about shirtless pictures. One thing is that you want to be in shape. You want
Right.
them, John, I'd say for that one, it sounds like it's working okay for you. I started with selfies before, but ideally you want your shirtless photos to be candid.
Taken. Yeah, you told me this on another
yeah.
show I listened with Moff, and I
Like-
was like, who do I have to take photos of me? Not many people down here. So
Yeah, my first ones, I think I was at Coachella playing beer pong, and I was trash talking, so I like had my fist in the air, and muscles were all
Okay.
shiny, and six pack was popping because I was eating no food and drinking beer all weekend after
So
being
if-
like 9% body fat. So
I love it.
those are
So
my
if-
first ones, and then my
so if
next
I
ones
were
were
to
like a beach
present,
shoot.
if I were to present this to you, go get candid photos, right? Like this one, I had to set up just lay down the camera on the sink.
Yep.
To make it look less like a selfie, but people see right through that. The arms look good. I love that photo, but it might be hurting me as far as matches go.
I'd say body language. You're covering your nuts, so do like more of kind of like an alpha pose, which I'm terrible at posing, by the way.
Sure, me too.
Guys who already follow me, you'll know I always say do candid stuff. So have if you do a photographer, have a friend. I have plates take my photos for me, and
Yeah,
then
I
just
love
get them
that.
in the habit of like if you're walking now, if she's trying to call it, if your entire date is her trying to get photos out of you, then that's annoying. Don't do that. But make it clear when you set the expectations as you're pulling a girl in your frame, like, oh, hey, this is a beautiful shot, and then get her in there and do
And
this
maybe
and that.
would you do
and then
one
tell
for
her, like,
her?
I always start with her. I'm just like, oh my God, baby, you look
cool.
beautiful. Like, let's get a photo of you. It's like, hey, I expect the same. And all girls know angles and lighting. They know it more than us guys do. So
For sure.
So I'll go over there and be like, hey, I'm going to set up. I'm going to do whatever. Just start snapping a roll and then count it down. I'll do my official poses. And then when she says done, I'll tell her to keep snapping for like 2 or 3 seconds more. So she'll snap off like 50 photos in one pose. Most of them all suck, but I'll get like 1 or 2 good ones and then touch those up in like with Instagram filters or whatever. So I'd say, yeah, first one, ideally, if you could get candid shots, that'd be great.
Sure.
Second one, I think it's okay. Lighting looks good. Your different kind of background attire. Only nitpicky thing would be like if you're really looking into it, body language, like try to do more of like
I'm hiding my nuts, right? Like, hey, you're off limits over here.
Yeah, exactly. Like no access here.
No access here. What is going on there?
I think dog photos are always good. I think I have a dog photo on mine. Girls ask me, "Oh, what kind of dogs?" Like, I don't know. It's like it's one of my plates dogs. Like whatever.
They love this, but Tinder said that this was the main photo that people are attracted to. So
they'll do the smart photos for you. Sunset, I'm not so sure about that one. Before my Instagram was only sunset and misspelled road signs, and no one seemed to care. It sucks because as you all know, guys take pictures. Guys like pictures of things, and girls like pictures of people. So when you're new to it, guys, it's really hard to start taking photos of yourself. When I first started getting into this, like, I'm really gonna make my Tinder profile, my Instagram good. It was really weird to get in the habit of taking photos myself, because before that, it's not that I disliked how I looked. I just didn't really care. I'm like, who wants to look at me? But once you get it down, you definitely see a world of difference. So I'd say dog photo's good.
That's an area of expertise I gotta maybe hone in on. Is I love the candid photo ideas. I love the ideas of getting different angles. Obviously, go for different poses, like holding my crotch, saying, "Hey, you're not allowed to touch down here." It literally contradicts the photo before it. Right. I mean, because right here, I'm just out of a chest workout. I'm looking pissed off.
They know what's up. Yeah. That first photo is like, hey, ladies.
We're not playing around here. So
I'd say probably ditch the sunset or put it at the very end. I think the boxing one's good. The boxing one would be a good one to get the shirtless photo, because it would look candid. Like if you're sparring, if you're doing whatever, like
I do have
again, have someone pop off a full roll, because like Moff and I did some boxing ones in Miami. I think there's like 68 photos in the roll. All but 3 of them looked good from certain angles, like when my back was stretching. Yeah. But there's certain ones where like I looked funny from certain angles, and then there's like 2 or 3 where like my back just looked completely jacked, or where my tricep was bulging as I was going for a cross, or for a hook. So again, do the candid ones and do the full photo rolls. And I think any sports photos are good opportunities for shirtless.
I have a shirtless. I lost 10 pounds because of the accident, so I got to build that back up. But I do have shirtless of me boxing. So
nice.
But I can't find, like, I have to screenshot from the video is the problem, and it's like it destroys the quality. So maybe I bring a guy in. I have a good buddy that I box with that whoops my ass every single day. Caleb, he's in our Modern Slackers channel. The kid is a fantastic boxer, and he literally, I'd say, broke my nose yesterday. He hit so hard. Hit me like we were going at it in the garage, but I could use him, to get those photos. And then the last one,
you don't need a professional camera either. Most of my photos are iPhone cameras.
Yeah, I got the newest iPhone. So
yeah, I used to never upgrade my iPhone, and now it's only for the camera because it's so damn good now.
It's so
good,
good,
I always just update it.
It's so good. Yeah, every year the camera gets better, but I think the latest jump, it wasn't the. Oh, I think someone just. I don't know if you hear like a alarm
broke
system.
Your window.
Well, no, what happens is
Tinder chick breaking into your house.
No, it just keeps resetting and saying your system is disarmed, and it's been doing that all day. So I gotta have someone look at that. But okay, so then I posted a video, and actually the boxing one was a video of me throwing combos. So I like that video, and I have a shirtless one of me throwing combos, looking like I do in that first photo. So maybe I'll swap that out. And then I posted, this get over your fear of rejection. Probably just toss that one. It was a video, and
like any of those text things are like motivational quotes. Like guys in the game or guys in the know that like when girls start posting motivational quotes, or like all of a sudden they're really interested in saving dolphins or horses or something. You're like, all right, like there's something's going on. Like she'll be easy, but like it's gonna be a pain. So yeah, stay away from like the motivational quotes and stuff like that. That's
all right. I wish I could show you what the bio said. Basically, it said boxer, base jumper, entrepreneur, Instagram. That was it. And I didn't get a screenshot of what it was because they just banned my account today. So these are the screenshots we had.
Here, let me see. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick, and then I'll show you kind of mine and why I went about it. And mine's not perfect, anyways. For me, I go for it's the same way I do my diet. It's like just get it as good as you can with what you have. So let me go to my Tinder tab. I have the desktop version. Let's see, I'm trying to source for tonight. So mine. Oh, how do I do this?
We have a comment from Nick Anthony. Jaren, you mentioned on a YouTube live with Richard Cooper that you want to present your profile as an offer, i.e., what are you looking for in a meetup with a match? Can you elaborate further on this? Why don't you go ahead and answer that?
Yeah, so I'm on the profile right now, so I'll show you what I'm doing. So, John, like you said, tested the photos, you can see my screen, right?
Nope.
You can't. Oh, damn.
Add to stream. Here it comes. There it is. Look at that. Look at that sexy motherfudger.
So there's my first photo. So this was a candid photo. I went to the beach for this session. Took you know what? I can even show you guys too, just how to go about doing this, because at first, like, I was nervous. I'm like, I am not a model. I have no idea what I'm doing. So this girl took like hundreds of photos.
Fat kid syndrome.
Yep, and she got some good ones. So this was a neighbor. We got locked down in California together. So we both lost our jobs. So we spent all summer just smoking weed and hanging out at the beach. It was actually a pretty fantastic summer, but I got tired of that pretty quick. So, and I didn't know what I was doing. She's just like, oh, point at that boat, or like, oh, look at the sun, or I'm like, oh, I'm burning my eyes. Oh, these are the ones. These are the ones I liked. So, I had ones too. I save all the bad photos for thumbnails, like goofy faces and stuff, for like YouTube videos.
Makes sense.
So you'll see there's a lot of crap ones.
It's only showing that same first image. Have you tried switching it yet, or?
Oh, you know what? Let me No, let me share my full screen. So share screen. I did just the tab, not the full screen.
Yeah, it was just showing that one photo as you were explaining the others.
Yeah, I've got like a bunch of like corporate stuff.
Oh God, there's
whatever.
there's the matrix. There it is.
There we
Okay,
go.
cool.
So you'll see like goofy face here, like me like checking a pretend watch I don't have. So this girl's just kind of telling me what to do, like the deer in headlights look. Like those aren't
I
going on
love
Tinder
it.
profiles.
I love it though. That's funny.
Like me like picking my nose or like biting my nails. So I wasn't paying attention to the photo. I think at some point I sparked a spliff probably. Oh, yeah, there we go. So
I love
these
it.
these didn't go on my profile. So what I did was go through all of these. Yeah, some of these funny
There's
faces.
some good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of these didn't make it. So I actually got more photos out of this that I liked than I thought I would, and a lot of them didn't make it. So from here, I just took the photos I liked best. I went to where was I before? Whenever I go to drive, it just takes me automatically to beach select for whatever reason. So you
That's
go through, you isolate the photos you like, and then of these ones, then I determined you pop them on Instagram and stories first, see which ones people like best. The best perform and guys, I learned this from girls actually, like Southern California Instagram models. Like I'm sure there's something else they do now, but at the time when I was learning this stuff, that's kind of where I got my inspiration.
Well, photo feeler I've been using.
Photo feeler's good too, yeah. So like pop if you don't have photo feeler, pop them into your story. The best performing stories go into posts. The best performing posts ideally go on your Tinder profile. If you look at my Instagram, I do differ photos between Tinder and Instagram. You'll see some similar ones, but you don't want her to go to your Instagram and see the same exact photos as she does on Tinder because she might think
that's
fake.
exactly how mine is set up.
Yeah, so it's a two-step process. You'll need to build out your Instagram too. So here, this is one I liked. I think I probably did touch it up a little bit. You can use your native cell phone editing app. iPhone really has anything you need in there. I did get feedback at one point from girls on the app that I didn't have any photos of my eyes. So I plugged some into photo feeler. This one did well, and you can see my eyes, although I've got like trichromatic eyes. I actually changed color with my background, but you can never see them in photos. When girls see me in real life, they're like, oh my God, your eyes are cool. In photos, I have deep eye sockets, so you just see the shadow. Got the dog photo. You can't see my face at all. But again, the first couple ones are beach themed, shirtless. So then I'm in a suit here. Then I'm out in the mountains with a beautiful.
Oh, that's a great
husky.
photo. Go back to that one. That's a fantastic photo.
Oh yeah, beautiful dog.
Yeah,
absolutely
gorgeous.
Beautiful. I was in Big Bear, California, camping with some buddies.
Great photo.
This one was market specific. So I lived in San Diego before. This is a landmark in Tijuana, Mexico. And this was just to let girls know that, yes, I crossed to Tijuana, because you'd match Mexican girls, especially in Southern California, and be like, oh, I can't go to the US. Can you come to Mexico? A lot of American guys don't. So with this photo, they knew pretty clearly, like, oh yeah, this guy obviously goes to Mexico because that's a landmark. If you guys know Plaza de Tijuana, like literally on the right of this heart is like the border, and it's like full of graffiti and murals.
It's like the Chicago bean, right?
Yeah, yep, it's something like that. Yeah, so this is literally like 20 feet from the U.S. border, which lets them know definitely that yes, I crossed to Mexico. I'm in Mexico now. This another candid photo.
Is that the? Yeah, look at how jacked you look. Look at those shoulders.
I had no idea that I was in this photo. It came out years after this music festival. A lot of people think
experience though. It's like look at all these photos. These are experiences that you're showing.
Exactly. You're giving them a snapshot or a preview of what your life looks like. And you want her to look at it and be like, oh my God, I want to be a part of that.
What's up, Moth?
And then here's the one. This was my main one for years. Again, candid photo. We were playing beer pong. I think I was trash talking someone and just, shoulders and abs.
Dude, look at, I love the muscle tearing that you got going on there.
Yep. And here's the shameless selfie. I think at one point, like years and years ago on Tinder, I think this was probably my main photo. Right. And this somehow just kept.
That's every guy's first photo is a selfie.
Exactly. So. Yeah, because you don't know any better. And I haven't updated this in a while. I probably should. I've had like multiple photo sessions since and have way better photos. But the way it's set up, it's just working for me. You'll notice too, like the parameters. I'm in Mexico City, so I set my radius very low. You can get very specific because again, I'm in a city of like 40 million people, which really helps you dial it in.
That's a big city, man.
Oh, it's a huge city, yeah, and it's an
Yeah.
international city. You get people from
Dude,
all over the world. So.
I'm seriously tempted to move out there or just use that Arizona rental and just create like a Mecca podcast
Oh,
studio.
I don't want to go on Zoom. Yeah, if you want to take control back, we can pop back to your
Okay, so
profile.
yeah, and maybe Moff, you want to join and roast my profile with me? You feel free to hop in, man, because I know Moff has a lot of feedback as far as dating goes. He is a very special guest and very special person to be able to have conversations with. So if you do jump in here,
Did he pop in the link? It's in the Instagram group chat, right?
yeah, I can. Well, I
He's got
guess
it.
I can. Okay. But yeah, so
Well,
let's
here,
go
I'm
back.
gonna stop my screen. Yeah, let's go back to yours.
Okay, let's do this. I gotta get used to this.
Yeah, show
new
number
thing.
1, folks. We will get better. We will get
He
better
says,
at this.
okay, he wants me to drop the StreamYard. Let's invite, copy.
Or you know what? Get the screen up and I'll drop it to him.
I just sent it to him.
Oh, you did?
In the
Okay.
comments, yeah. So when he pops in, I'll start the roasting process.
Or you know what? I'll show my screen again real quick just to show you guys kind
Sure.
of what the funnel looks like. I don't want to like dox any of these poor girls, but
Oh, fuck him.
so things that I've talked about. So I'll go through my matches. I do these in batches. So I use the desktop version for conversations. I use the app on my phone to do the swiping because it's more efficient. I do it when I'm in the back of a taxi or on the toilet for swiping. Then you swipe, you get a whole stack. I went through earlier because I'm traveling in 2 days, so I have to start lining up prospects for when I go to my hometown, and there's not a lot. And then you'll see that there's girls I haven't talked to. So like these are girls where I'm like, okay, I like them enough. I want to talk to them, but I'm gone. So I'm not going to talk to them, open them, get them excited, and then not be able to meet up with them. So I'm at the point where I get quite a few matches. I get quite a few inbounds, and I use these sparingly. So I'll open blocks of 20 because, as we mentioned earlier in the conversation, of a block of 20, I will get a conversion with one, and it's pretty much guaranteed.
Numbers game.
If I'm not sure, then I'll go 30. Most I'll ever do is 40 because it gets too hard to manage. You'll get girls in different parts of the funnel. And let me say what I mean. So I went through, you swiped. You go through your matches. I pick blocks of 20. You open them up. So I did that earlier. Of the 20 I did probably like an hour ago. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This girl
take care of that dog, Moth.
8. So normally that's about my numbers. Normally I get like 40 to 50% responses of the matches that open.
That's really good because I get like 1% because we're gonna go through my openers and why they don't work in a second.
And my line's always the same. So this is roughly translated like, hey, are you behaving yourself? The girls always say one of two things, and use your own openers. It's like a sales script or like you're asking qualification questions. So, hey, are you behaving yourself? Like, yeah, like, I'm always well behaved. From that point, I'll say like, okay, let's change that, and then she'll either say yes or no, and then I drop the digits. So, for example,
so you go quick to the number.
I go quick. So I said, hey, you're behaving yourself? Yep, always you. It's like, yeah, for now, let's change that. She said, oh, okay, how are you? I said, I'm great. It's like, but I'll be better when I see you. Instagram, phone number. Okay, I followed you on Insta. Now, I always leave the Instagram and phone number because that means that she's not ready to commit to logistics. But you'll notice I pop over to Instagram. This girl, I believe it was this one. Yep. Popped over. She jumped in my DM. Hey, what's up? We were talking on Tinder. I'm like, hey, cutie, what are you doing? I'm watching TV. Haven't responded because I'm on with you guys. But I think later tonight, she might be an opportunity. This girl, I won't click on her. She came from earlier today. I think she said that she's going to come over at some point tonight. And she popped me her number just to make sure. So this is why you want to do the Tinder.
I see.
You want to get them off as fast as possible into your Instagram.
Dude, this is the most simple sales cycle you have just showed me.
It's a sales funnel. It's super.
But simple. You don't understand. From a guy like me, I'm hitting the online dating market and I'm attacking it like a hard sell, like I'm a used car salesman, right? So like you're showing me very simple tactics that are getting you incredible results. You're getting 50% response rate. That's ridiculous.
And you have to remember, you have to keep in mind, I'm a big proponent of keeping cognizant of the end user experience. And it's like kind of a tech term. So when this girl's sitting down or wherever she's at, she's swiping, a lot of times she's with her friends or she's bored. I've mentioned to guys like Friday and Saturday night at 8 p.m. is clutch in Mexico City because
right.
I can make plans a previous Sunday for Saturday night. So many things happen and she's talking to so many people and they're big on family here. So like if grandma's dog dies, then guess what? She's driving out of the city like 2 hours away to like some little town that doesn't have internet, and you're not going to see her, and she won't tell
Makes
you because
sense.
she'll forget. But
Makes
Saturday
sense.
night at 8 p.m., this is when plans start falling through. And I live in a flaky society. So all of a sudden, these girls are rushing to make sure that they have something lined up for Saturday. And
So do I. I live in that society as well.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're in a more conservative place. So
Yep.
they come through Tinder. Again, the photos give you a preview of the experience they are to have with you. Kind of beachy, whatever. I did skip over this. So you guys want to make sure that you have a full profile filled out. I use ambiguous terms like consulting is always a good one. Fintech's a good one. I was a senior level marketing manager there, so it doesn't. So, but if you're a lower level position, don't put like junior associate analyst. Just put like finance or investing, or you're not lying, but you're omitting information.
Let me ask you a question. So, if you Google my name, it'll show you that I have a couple very successful exits. But I don't like leading with that at all. So what I did is I said founder of Modern Slackers. But I think that could be a turnoff because the stuff we talk about is what women don't want to hear.
Well, it's more kind of going back to like your shirtless photo. You'll turn off a lot of women, but the ones that are turned on will be really turned on.
Yeah, that's what I've noted. Those are the ones that come over and respond to those kill shots.
So here, like
to get to those
in the description, I always put my offer. So I said, I'm looking for a girl for 420, good food, and caricias is like snuggles, like cuddle, like rubbing your hair back, all that stuff. That's all I say. And then Instagram with an arrow going right next to it with a winky face. So when these girls pop in the DMs, and there's a lot in here. You guys too. There's a lot in here. Yeah, this one's supposed to come over tomorrow morning. Oh shit. My bad. Oops. My bad.
Damn it, Jared. You just demonetized our first episode.
Did I? Oh, dang it.
We'll figure it out.
I always say, I don't think it matters if you connect your music. Like, obviously, I was in the gym a couple hours ago, so it's all like harder music. If you catch me later at night, it'll be yacht rock.
I never use music, and I don't connect my Instagram because it has the same photos.
Yeah. I got to the point where a lot of girls are like, "Oh, your profile is fake." So I think, you know what? That's why I left this last photo, because it's not as good. To just kind of let them know, like, oh yeah, like here's just a normal everyday dude photo.
I get that. I don't have that issue. I'm glad you do.
Yeah, exactly. But you'll get to that point once you start getting it down. Once you figure out your angles and the lighting and how to edit it and touch it up and all that stuff. So,
well, dude, I'm getting leg lengthening surgery. So I'm 5'9" and I'm gonna be 3 inches taller after this $100,000 surgery. So that's gonna help with the dating market. And I'm getting veneers put on in Costa Rica. So I am upgrading my body. Which, by the way, guys, it's ridiculous that I'm even doing that. I convert just fine now. But, Jaren, how tall are you?
I'm just shy of 5'11", like 5'10" and 3/4.
That's the perfect height. That's the perfect height. Yep. So I'm 5'9", and it sucks. And there's a lot of disqualifications women base off of that. Like I use like Hinge, and when I say I'm 5'9", like 99% of the women just say F you.
But for things like that, don't put it out there. You don't want to give them reasons to disqualify you. I mean, they'll find their own reasons, but if you start with like, oh, I'm 5'6", then okay, then that's an immediate disqualification. Sure, whereas if you have other things, if you're projecting the positives, then you want those to outweigh the negatives. So never lead with the negative.
Okay, are you ready to review some of my mistakes?
Yeah, were we gonna pull them off in here?
We can get started. I don't see him. He said he had to take the dog out, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, no worries.
I mean, I say we just get started. The problem is I can't see if he does pop in. Let's just get it started. Share screen. Don't show these options again. Window. Oh, I can just show that window. Entire screen. We'll just go for it. Let's just go for it. Okay, so this woman. Okay, so. I opened up with, why did you match with me? And she responded. I didn't get the response. I don't think I downloaded it. But what do you think about that as an opener?
There's no way you can zoom in on this?
No. Like it does that thing where, like, you see what I mean? Let's see if it'll let us see let's see the full thing. Wait, where is it?
Yeah, it might be easier just to keep it like that. Yeah.
It won't let me though, because it won't see the full thing. You can't see what she said. Dang. Yeah. So it says, why did you match with me? What do you think of that as an opener? Because basically I told her to sell herself to me and it worked, but it doesn't work all the time.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. You have to test these things. So in marketing, we do what's called A/B testing. You start with something, and it's eventually. Marketers are so facetious. They make
I
it
know
sound
A/B
like it's a lot more.
testing.
It's a lot more. They make it sound like we're a lot more experts than we actually are. You just throw a bunch of crap against the wall and see what sticks. Essentially, so my system I have dialed down. I've done a lot of trial and error. It works for me. It gets the results I want in the amount of time I want for the least amount of effort, which is kind of my strategy.
You know
So
what you should do? We should have you write down your top 10 openers and sell it as a PDF.
Yeah, you know what? I think I've got content like that already. I think
Yeah,
I've got
I'd
like
be
on
happy to
Quora
sell
somewhere.
that
I've done
for
that.
you. Yeah, let's I think you should do that. So, why did you match with me? I mean, it really worked because she had to take a step back, and there's a couple more examples where it worked. Where
Yep, she's
it was
qualifying
just
herself to you, which is
yeah.
a good approach because that builds attraction.
Well, I hooked up with her, so
Oh,
and it
nice,
took 3 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it worked. Yep.
and she was I'd say she's a 7 without makeup. No, without makeup, she might be a 6. I don't know. Women
It doesn't
have this
matter.
ability to go 3 points up by using makeup. Men don't get that option. So it's
Yep.
like, I always in my head
Men
see
can
a
only go
7.
down, and that's
I
usually when
always
we open our mouths.
I always see an 8 as a 6, and I treat him as a 6 because I know without that makeup,
Uh-oh.
what's going on? Did you leave? Jaren.
John, did he freeze on me here?
No, I'm here, buddy. Was
that your internet or mine?
I don't know. I'm still here. I've been rocking
Oh,
and
cool.
rolling.
Yeah, it froze on my end for a second, huh?
Yeah, you look
I've had
frozen.
pretty good internet at this place.
You're still frozen. So let's
I'm still
go
frozen.
on to
Okay, dang it. Yeah, whatever.
all right, let's go on to the next one. Why did you match with me? Because you look hot. So this was one of those kill shots, right?
So we call that an indicator of interest.
Well, she ended up blocking me because I told her, "Do you want it from the front or behind?"
Was that after you hooked up with her or before?
No,
or is that a different girl?
That was the same girl. This. Can you see it?
No, I can't. Do you have your screen share back on?
Yeah, it's been on. Oh no, I don't. Share.
Yeah, that's probably why I saw it froze on my end.
Okay, let's go ahead and share this. Okay, so this one, can you see it?
Oh yeah, because you look hot.
Yep. Okay. Yeah,
Sweaty.
and then I said before anything else, I went for the kill shot and I said, do you like it from the front or behind? And she blocked me. So what would you have done differently as far as the attack approach there?
I think so. It's a conversation between direct and indirect. You probably went too direct too fast. So you'll notice like mine, I let them infer what's going to happen. So that's why I always do like 420 snacks and snuggles is how I do it when I do the English line. Or like in San Diego one time we had a really hot summer. So I said like come enjoy ice cold AC with a reasonably hot guy or something stupid like that. So it's already in your description. So that already sets the tone for the conversation she's going to have with you.
I mean, she set the tone right there. Right?
She did, yeah.
But I
because you look hot, which kind of like no duh. That's what Tinder's all about. Tinder's all about like, are you hot or are you not? That's literally what the swiping game is.
Dude, I think that's what it was on meetme.com. It was called Hot or Not or something.
So typically for something like this, I'd think of something like clever, something fun, flirty with like a little sexual subtext to it. So because you look hot, I'd probably say something like off the top of my head, like oh well, let's meet up and see if we can turn this Tinder into a flame or something stupid. And then again, a conversation. It's like I use a metaphor. It's like playing volleyball or tennis. So John opened, he served the shot, she volleyed it back. And then like he went and spiked it, but he probably spiked it so hard to where she doesn't want to play another match with him. So the game's over.
I'm clipping that because that is something. It was a learning opportunity for me, dude. Like I was like, wait, what? That's
how I see it in my head. You're volleying. It's a verbal volleyball match essentially. So you don't want to spike it, break her nose, make her bleed all over you. Like it's just a game, fucker, because then the game's over. And guys who listen to Jordan Peterson you'll get that analogy.
Does that look better on your screen, larger?
Yeah, it does. I'm on full screen.
Okay, so this girl, I hooked up with. Why did you match with me? What kind of question is that? To my eyes, you were extremely handsome, and I wanted to let you know that I guess you already know. So first off, typos is the kind of question that gets responses. So she was asking why I asked that question. It's the kind of question that gets responses. I think I made a mistake there. You know, like, well, it's the kind of question that
you explained too much, but that's fine because she left a big paragraph of text too. So like normally you want to say what you have to say in as few of words as possible, and you want to let, like, guys in the red pill, they use the term hamster, but really you want to get her imagination going, because what you're trying to do is create a fantasy or the prospect of having a fantastical experience. So that's fine. I'm an over communicator too. That's why you'll see my Tinder, like, I've gotten really short and just sniper to the point, but it wasn't always that way.
No,
so she give you a paragraph of text, you're okay there. But if it were smaller, like, why'd you match with me? If she said, like, I like you, then I would have just gone straight to the angel or devil. Or
you taught me that. And then she said devil, definitely you. And I said depends on the time and the place. Now, before the account got banned, I got her phone number, we hooked up, and all I did was literally take her to my house, let her play in the jacuzzi, and we had sex. So it was the easiest Tinder hookup I've ever had.
That's kind of how mine are too. And we can get into this on another show, because I think it probably deserves its own topic, but that is logistics. Like, even like, guys, if you want to get good at this stuff, like, live in a good, like, pay the extra $200, live in a good neighborhood next to the bar so you don't get DUIs, or like places that are central with lots of stuff to do, like good views. Don't live with roommates. So that, like, all this stuff goes into it too, as far as making sex as easy as possible to happen between you and her.
Okay, here's
logistics
the one,
all goes into it too.
Here's one that got me blocked.
Yeah, there we go. Let's take a look.
Okay, so how many dogs do you have? She approached me, right? And I said, how many people have you effed on this app? She says straight to the point, okay, then I default to your angel or demon, and I got blocked. So go ahead and diagnose this one.
I've never done the angel or demon, but it goes to the philosophy of, you want to put her, like, again, going back to digital marketing, if you ever write chat logic, like, I've got one, I was working on a financial site earlier, and the first thing is like, hey, good to see you again, so-and-so, we have the name because it's a returning user. It's like ready to take a look at our financial offers. Sure. They click yes or no. That puts them in a different track. And then, like, software wise, we can track, what their intent is, how to follow up market to them, all this stuff. We don't have that sophistication in Tinder, but it's essentially in the same vein. Whereas you want to know, is she on the good girl track or the bad girl track? They'll usually say something like in between, but
depends on the mood, right?
Yeah, it depends. But no, this is good. No matter what she says, you always bring it back to where you want the conversation to go. And that's
I did, and then I got blocked.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. You'd rather get blocked than have your time wasted.
Well, I think she reported me too. So, like, it was bad.
Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Is that why your Tinder account's down?
Well, this is Hinge, I think. This one is Hinge. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because she initiated the conversation through a comment. So
yep, that's
okay. What kind of question? This is my favorite one. This girl probably was the most attractive lady I hooked up with this year by a mile. And I used the why did you match with me? Your looks caught my eye. Then I read what you wrote on your profile, and it seems like someone I would like to get to know. So basically, all I did was say, hey, how hardcore of a person are you? Do you want to go base jumping tomorrow or just cuddle? And then I got her number and we took it off the platform. So I used what you've told me through our private chats. And basically, hey, are you the type
you put her in different categories? Yep.
Yeah. Do you want to go base jumping tomorrow, or do you want to come cuddle tonight? So, and she was. I mean, I would love to see her again. We're playing that let's not text for 3 days rule. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like there's mental games with US women where they believe that you have to wait 3 days after you sleep with someone to text them again. And if whoever texts first loses, and then they become uninterested. I've seen this play out thousands of times. So I just pretend like I'm way too busy, and I am. It doesn't matter. I got podcasts, I got my business, like whatever.
For that, a lot of times I'll tell the girls, like, because I'll break a lot of those conventional rules. So a lot of times I'll tell girls like, hey, I'm just gonna let you know I liked you, but I'm super busy. So if you don't hear from me, don't hesitate to reach out. If you want to text me tomorrow, that's
Oh, I
absolutely
like
fine.
that.
I'd love to see you again. But if I get the slightest, if I catch the slightest inkling you're playing these kind of games, then you never will see me again. So I'm just letting you know right now, these rules don't apply to me. Let me know what your intent is. If you want to see me, great. I want to see you, and I'm just telling you that now.
I love
And
that, and I love leaving it as an opener, right? You're really setting yourself up for like putting it back on them.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
I know it's contrary to what a lot of guys advise, but normally I like to leave the ball in their court because guys in Rich's group get on this all the time. Like, oh, you like they get on me and Moff. Like, you guys spend a lot of time on this. Like, no, the thing is, I don't spend a lot of time on this. That's why it's so successful because I don't want to waste my time. I'll let you know, hey, here's where I'm at.
Oh, you know
Here's
what?
what I expect from you, and then you decide what to do with it. Just let me know if
That
you want to see me again, and
that one
it'll
had
happen.
my number on it. I should. Damn it. All right. Hey,
Yeah,
if you
I
were
should have vetted these.
do you remember this one? If you were a fruit, you'd be a pineapple.
That's one of those like cheesy pickup lines. Although that sounds like a line that girls would give you, like on Bumble. Whenever girls open you, you're like, you can tell they Googled like good lines or something.
Well,
But
that's what I did as a response,
uh,
and she loved it. And
it's
but
fun. I like cheesy pickup lines though. They're fun. When
but
you're just playing around.
here's
And again,
what
it sets the
happened:
tone.
is I sent her my number, and she did not respond. And
That's fine. But most
it's
of them
been a
won't.
couple weeks, so
And
12,
the
12
And a good
four
rule for Tinder guys, or any online dating apps or
2
swipe
days.
apps is if she thinks you're hot, you can really say anything. And again, going back to Bumble, you'll notice that a
Right.
lot of girls just like, hey, hi, smiley face, little wavy hand. They don't apply any game to you because they just assume their looks are going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for them. And in a lot of cases, it does.
Okay. Judge this one, man. I'm not even gonna say anything. Can you read
My
it?
love language is quality time. Oh yeah, mine is. Yeah.
Mine is sex. So obviously I didn't get a match here, right? I mean, this is
Yeah.
just my dating strategy. It either works or it doesn't.
I'd follow up like what? Did you not read the book?
No, I
Like,
can't unless she accepts it.
yeah, of
So
course.
yeah.
That's funny.
So I mean, that's what you meant. Instead of me saying mine is sex, I should have said, "Did you read the book?" I like that.
No. I'm saying like mine is sex, and then when she doesn't answer, be like question mark, like, did you not read the book? Like, do you not
Okay.
know? Implying that sex is one of the love languages. I don't think it is, but
Well, mine is.
it's like physical touch or intimacy or something like that.
I
Yeah.
don't care. I'm rewriting. This is the modern pillars of success. We're gonna write the modern pillars of love languages next. I
Yeah,
mean,
there we go.
so what would you have said if she said, this was me initiating the conversation. My love language is quality time. What is something you'd put there?
That was her initiating the conversation. God, I've never gotten
No,
on
this
before.
was me initiating it.
Oh, you said your love. Oh, that's right, because they give you like the prompts,
Yep.
and then you just
Yep.
plug them in.
So what would you have said here?
My love language is quality time.
How could you be
I probably
funny
I
with
probably
this
would have
one?
said something along those lines, like, oh, mine's. I probably would have said something along the lines of like mine's physical intimacy, or you know what? I would have done. I would have brought it back to what my offer is. Probably. I probably would have said something like my love language is like 420 snacks and snuggles, or
I like that.
Netflix chill, and maybe a serenade if you're lucky. I do that. I do that a lot too. Like,
Okay.
I will give you a serenade if you're lucky, and lucky means like I'm motivated because they just blew my effing mind. And
I love, okay, the offer. We got to touch on that in a second, which is you got to have an offer in mind, right? With any sales, any business, and this goes to dating. Have your
that's how we
offer
start the
set in
conversation.
stone.
What's your goal? Like, what are you looking to
Yeah,
get out of
I
this?
don't have a
You're on the app
goal.
for a reason.
My goal is straight to the point. And in this
Uh-huh.
conversation, you can see she blocked me right away.
Uh-huh.
Angel or demon, little bit of both. Interesting. So if I slap your butt during sex and dominate you, you aren't going to have a problem with that block. So
Yeah,
and this
again,
is where Seal Coat guy was like, dude, use some lube first. Like,
yeah, probably a little too direct, a little too fast, which you can get there. Like if you've
but you
already,
see
if
this?
you've
She has
already
a
been
boyfriend right here.
dude, girls do that. Girls do that all the time. And it's probably not a boyfriend. It's probably some random dude or beta male or
Makes sense.
what.
Orbiter.
Yeah, and I have seen girls post boyfriends before because you'll get a lot of girls like, oh, I'm poly, or like I'm in an open relationship, or oh, we're looking to bring a guy into the mix. I still text those girls half the time. Guys in the know that that's just girls looking to cheat on their boyfriend, but like making him think he's gonna get some of the action. Like, Like those girls
Right.
will come over and cuck their boyfriend instantly. Like they're not there.
Dude,
They might.
I've slept with 3 married women this year, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, man. Like it's definitely like I didn't know they were married. I met them at this lounge here in St. George, and it's like a mid
They
30s
put themselves on
woman.
the market. That's
Yeah,
their
and
decision.
they had
They're adults.
they had
They're
a
adults, right?
hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, this lady came
Yeah.
up and
You're
was
good.
like, "Hey, are you drinking wine?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can I buy you one?" I said, "Only if I can buy you two." What's your? And then I talked about the room number. We went up to her room and had sex, and then she got a call from her husband. So I was like, "Oh boy, it's time to pack up and go home." And
Oh,
it
that
was
happens all the time. Like half the times they'll put their phone face down, or if they fall asleep and they move on the bed and it's face up. Like if it's buzzing and I happen to glance over, half the time it's like Nobio or like boyfriend or mi amor or some crap like that. So like don't worry about it. It's her decision. Like
right. She's
it's
an
not like
adult.
it's not like I walked. It's not like you walked into their marital bedroom, like tied the guy up, like threw him in the closet, and like had your way with his wife. I mean, she
There's
was
a
at a she
what
put
is it?
herself in your orbit.
Well, there's a what's that movie? Clockwork
Clockwork Orange,
Orange.
yeah.
Yeah, I did not Clockwork Orange this lady at all,
Yeah,
man.
poor thing.
Yeah. So here's one that did not go. I just lost interest. Hey, why did you match with me? That's a good question. I've lost interest. Take care, is what I said. I just gave up. I was like, it's not worth my time. And she wasn't as attractive as like her first photo was. So I was kind of disappointed. But I mean, you can disqualify women, right? I think that's another thing we should talk about is like you're qualifying them,
Well,
and it's
absolutely.
okay to disqualify women. And I do it a lot. I
You
mean, it's just like,
again, you want one of two things to happen. You want her to disqualify you as fast as possible, or you disqualify her as fast as possible. And then the ones that make it out of those two things are the ones that you're going to have your easy, effortless, just fun, great interaction.
okay, I love what you just said there. And I keep want to get back to, what is your offer? I need men to understand what Jaren is
For
saying here is have an offer in mind and sell that damn offer. His is 420 and snuggles. I've never thought of it this
when I
way.
was in
I
San
have no
Diego,
offer.
I lived on the beach for my last like year and a half there, and it was always what I'd change. It was like 420 sunset serenade or something like that. And then I'd go to Kroger, spend like less than $10, get some deli food, put them in like
Right.
nice Tupperware. I had a dedicated beach blanket with some little tiki torches, and then just that was the date. Less
What a
than a
great
$10
date.
date. We always
That's
met on the
fun.
beach. Within an hour, because for a while, and again, guys, like this is the first step. You're just prospecting. Your goal is to get her off the
And
app
you still
and
had fun.
meet up. Once you meet up, then you have to have that whole experience planned. I alluded to it earlier. You have to have the logistics mapped out, and you have to know how the night's going to escalate. And once you do it a few times, like anyone who's built a marketing and sales funnel, once you get it down, then it's down. Like to the point now, like I know here, like the minute a girl crosses the threshold into my room, in my head, I know it's on. I've already
Yeah,
got
of
the music
course.
going. It's the same playlist every time. I have the condom strategically located. All of the escalation is planned out to the point where I almost get kind of bored.
You
But
have a
after that,
roadmap of success with these women. I
but
mean, I love.
after after the first nut, then you can let all that down and be yourself. So that's where I'll tell them like a serenade if you're lucky. Then I can be a dork because I'm a nerd.
Okay.
I'm a dork.
Yeah.
And
I
a
don't
lot of girls will come
I
over
don't see that
like
side of
oh,
you, but I guess you
oh that's
are.
nice. Yeah, I must be hiding it.
You do it very well.
Yeah, right. So for this one, like goes on actual dates. I was telling Moff the other day. I said it jokingly, but in my head, it's like now it's now going to be one of my rules going forward. That I so no. How do I want to say it?
I said
I
no,
don't go.
I get
I don't
laid
go
for
on dates, and
cheaper.
I think I started saying like I don't go on dates until the third sex. So girls will say like no sex until the third date.
Oh,
I
that's
reverse
so
it.
genius.
I
Okay.
reverse it. So like it
Reverse their question. I'm gonna go back here. Let me stop my screen share because I was
yeah,
into that.
and I just got done listening to the Caleb Jones. Oh, what was it? Because my goal this year, I want to learn how to turn a soft harem into a hard harem. So I was listening to like the Caleb Jones like harem whatever book it was, and he said I was already doing this, so I already knew this. Like I said, I made the role and jokingly said it on Moff Show the other day. That after two separate occasions where you meet up and you exclusively just have sex, that you essentially lock her in, and that means that she's enough in your frame to where you can start letting down the guard. Again, don't be Billy Beta or anything like that,
Right.
but you can start letting her into your world more and more, because you don't have to worry about possibly her being there for the wrong reasons, which the dating first thing, it essentially lets her know that, like, I'm putting myself in the provider category. So I'm very clear with these girls that I don't fall in that category. However, if they want the best of both worlds, yeah, I love popping girls on planes. I love going on trips or spontaneous little day excursions or whatever. But you have to earn that. You don't get that on the first date.
You went full mute, not full mute, but frozen. And
Oh, dang.
so I paused you. So why don't we leave it? I think we have enough information here, unless you have anything else you want to share, because we're going to do this every Tuesday, right?
Okay.
Where we dive into Tinder profiles. Should we get some women's profiles and see the opposite side for men? Maybe we talk in private about that, but do you want to have Tinder Tuesday as a regular segment on the podcast?
Can you hear me? Am I back on the show?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you? I was gonna ask.
I thought you said you took me out. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I was thinking that we can try it out on this show, see how it works. It's just a segment idea. If it's something that works really well, it's probably something I'll do on MENshrine too. At some point, I want to start doing daily live streams.
So
I'm looking at doing more professional stuff. So I have to plan my schedule these next few weeks. But by the new year, I'll know what my schedule looks like.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reset up a new Tinder profile and take the advice that you've given me today for next week, and we'll review it again. And hopefully, I've learned some good lessons. I think being able to show is the best way to learn, right? Like, instead of just saying, here's how to do it, showing someone how to do it. Leaders eat last. I mean, that's literally the whole point, is like, here's how you do it versus, hey, here, go do this, if that makes sense. So I want to apply the tactics that you've talked about in this podcast.
Eventually, I'd like to, once we start growing, once I have more of a professional setup, I've communicated with you offline. I have bigger goals for this year. So once I get to that point, I'll start bringing my girls on too. Because I date some pretty cool girls, and higher class in Mexico, all over Latin America. They speak English, and they want the attention too.
Dude,
and
if you need a girl,
that get it, because they know that I get it, and those are nice relationships.
If you need a girl to break your windows, man, I got a couple I'll send your way.
I'm in Mexico. We have bars on the windows here. That ain't happening.
All right. Well, maybe I need to install some bars.
No, not here. I'm in a really nice part of town. So there's armed security everywhere. I'm in the financial district. So it's actually nicer than most US cities here, which is sad. Whenever I go to the US, it just blows my mind how crappy that place is getting. And Mexico and most of Latin America, they're trying to get better. I believe we skipped over a question. Can you go back to it?
So I have some questions. There's two questions
from one of the users. Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought
we had a live question. It was talking about my funnel or the offer.
I think
we covered that.
You answered it. Yeah, I did. There were some Reddit questions that I think I'm going to leave for the next episode.
That's fine.
Because actually the first two you answered. I'll just read them off. Advice from Reddit. Are you asking for numbers from girls as soon as possible? You should aim to do it within about 4 messages. And that aligns with what you said tonight.
It's pretty quick.
Okay.
Now let me make a point on here, because there's a lot of debate over whether you should give girls your number or not. I'd say when you're newer to game, probably get the number out of her, put the ball in her court. For me, since I run so much volume, I leave her my number and then I forget about her, because I'll pop my number out to 40 girls. I'll go about my day, and then I look at my phone. Let's see if you can see it now. Once I'm on here, you'll see that there's multiple texts coming in. You'll see the way I do my coding. So like I have like Tinder and then Mexico. So these are all inbound opportunities.
You're completely frozen. So I mean,
am. Dang it.
Yeah, your whole face is frozen. That's why I removed it. Can you still? So
yeah, I can still hear you. You can hear me at least, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think I took you out and they couldn't hear me responding to you.
That's what I was wondering, because I see myself. Well, it says you're in the show. So here what I was saying, like. So you set it up to the point where I'll pop my number out to like 40 girls, or like whatever the stack or whatever the batch looks like at that time. I always do my matches, in batches. Yeah, that's a nice quote. Do your matches in batches, folks. And then of that, you'll see I showed earlier like the Instagram inbound, and then here the way I set this up.
Now you're coming back.
Put me in the screen. So here you set that up.
It's
These
still
girls
so
are already
choppy, man. We can't see anything.
okay. Yeah, it's whatever. So you'll see that there's inbound messages, and then I have it
Okay.
set up to where it does the lead source, which is like Tinder, Seeking, Bumble,
So
whatever,
let's
and then
recap
country.
that. Let's just recap that. So basically, in sales, guys, if you're dealing with a numbers game, if you dial 100 numbers, you might get 5 back. What Jaren's doing here is he's just basically sending out 60 numbers, right? And he'll have those inbound calls that are coming back in. And I want to
And
relate
the most interested are the ones that will go and do it. So some
Right.
girls, like when I go back and look, I'll leave all my information. Then she'll be like, "Oh, text me," and then she'll leave you her number. That means it's an invitation to a conversation, but she's not interested enough to just go directly after you. Because I'll leave the offer. I like, hey, for example, like let's get in trouble together. Okay, that sounds great. Boom, Instagram number. I'm off the app. And
Let's
then
get into trouble together. I love that.
Yep. Hours later during the day, like these, I showed on the screen, I have 3 inbounds. I know that these inbounds came from my Tinder activities earlier in the day. So I don't know what the messages say. I haven't read them yet. But when you pop them open, of those 3, like there will be a warm lead. And you just take whoever's the most interested or whoever's the hottest or whoever you like most. A lot of times for me, like it's a proximity thing. So if she's like, "Oh, I'm like 2 blocks away." Great. That means that there's less obstacles to you and I meeting up because
I like that.
you're 2 blocks away.
No, you're assuming the risk. You're doing a risk analysis, right? And your
Exactly
goal
that,
is
yeah.
to convert. So, like I'm telling you, man,
Drama-free fun is the goal.
I went up to Salt Lake City and leased a penthouse suite, and I had my Tinder set up, and I had like 99 matches in a day that were pending, versus down here in conservative St. George, Utah, I had none.
Well, it's a population game too.
Yeah, no, Salt Lake City is massive.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then my Tinder account got banned for some reason, and I think that's Apple's new private relay update.
My Bumble account did the same thing when Facebook had their outage a couple months ago. I did single sign-on for everything. For those guys that aren't tech guys that don't know what single sign-on is, that's like when you're trying to go into something, it doesn't ask you for your email and password anymore. It just says connect via Facebook, connect via Apple. That functionality got screwed up when Facebook went out and it never came back for me. So at some point I'll open a new Bumble account and then I'll do that as a premium offer on my channel. I've got a lot of cool stuff coming out here over the next couple months. And then I can walk you guys through the whole process. And then eventually I'm going to launch a game room, probably like $100 a month subscription to where Tinder Tuesdays, John, you and I could do this. And then probably right afterwards, I'll go into the premium side and we'll do it live. Like I'll actually show you how I game girls, or we can get other guys on like John and we'll walk you through the process.
Let's get you through this. Yeah. Let's, what I want to do is I really want to piggyback this channel off to your channels as much as possible. That's really what the Modern Slackers is all about, right? It's like we're all starting here. We're working our way up. Let's do it together. Let's go ahead and end the show
all day long.
Yeah, we're at 1:16, an hour and 17 minutes now. So, Jared, thank you so much for hopping on, man. I think this is great advice. I'm going to clip a lot of stuff. So I have an editor in India. God bless them because it's cheap. And they'll find. God
bless them.
God bless them, dude. I
used to work for an Indian company, so yeah, they'd always do that. They were Indians.
I will never work for an Indian company. They're terrible employers, but I will hire Indians any day, any day.
Yeah, for our business talks, like let's start jotting down some of these topics too, because these are good ones too. As far as like I've traveled and worked all over the world, or in the Western world.
So I have,
you learn little insights like that.
I have the Why Younger Men Need to Invest Early is live tomorrow at, I think we're doing 6 p.m. So guys, I'm sure we're not going to get any views on this until we're later developed in the channel, but I do know that your vagina picture is going to get us shadow banned for a second, but
let's go to the studio and clean that up. I'm pretty sure you can.
All right, I'll give it a shot. But yeah, Jaren, thanks for hopping on, and I'll connect with you right after this show, and we'll go ahead and end it here. How's that sound?
Alrighty, yep, sounds good. Thanks, guys, and you'll see my picture if you want to follow me. Go to MENshrine.com, YouTube. Just look at MENshrine. Here in the description on Modern Slackers, we'll have that plugged in here in a minute. So be sure to follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and then sign up for my email list, because as I mentioned here over the next couple of months, I will have some more premium stuff coming through. I have a very, very robust business model that I'll be rolling out over the course of the next year, but need some need some revenue first so I can bootstrap that build. So so the more you guys show me some love, the quicker we'll get to it, and we'll have some fun together. I'm gonna
All right.
gamify this whole alpha transformation process.
Hey,
it'll
we
be a good
both
time.
are. We both are. We're both going to rise to the top. So after this show, I'll connect with you and Dylan and get your guys' IG handles. You said you uploaded to the drive. You know what? We got to end the show. People didn't need to know this shit. So,
let's do
anyways, Jaren, so good talking to you,
I just plug myself. Yep. All right. Later.
All right.
Guys.
Talk to you guys soon.
The studio. Yeah, we'll be in the back room. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.